Bonjour à tous. Merci d'être venus aussi nombreux pour cette masterclass Nikka. C'est vraiment chouette de vous voir tous ici. Alors aujourd'hui, nous allons donc faire nous allons passer 1 heure ensemble. Et c'est les 2 personnes que vous avez sur scène qui vont vous guider tout au long de la dégustation. Vous avez à droite Ozaki-san, Chief Blender à Nikka Whisky, donc depuis 2021. Et vous avez à gauche Emiko Kaji, qui est International Business Development Manager depuis 2010. Et moi, c'est Suzanne, enchantée. Je suis la brand ambassadeur Nikka en Europe. Donc, si vous avez des questions, n'hésitez pas. La présentation va être en anglais. Donc, vous avez des petits casques de traduction, si besoin. Après, si vous comprenez l'anglais, on est bon. Et écoutez, régalez-vous.
Bonjour, hello, thank you for joining the Nikka's masterclass. So we are so pleased to come back to the Whiskey Live for the first time after the COVID. So today's masterclass theme is Nikka Discovery 2022 Aromatic Yeast. So before we start, please make sure that you have 8 glasses filled with whiskies. If you have any missing or empty glasses, please let us know. Are you okay? So today, we have Nikka's chief blender, Mr. Ozaki. So this is the first time for him to come to the Whiskey Live and conduct a masterclass in this audience. This is the very first memorial day for him. So he joined the Nikka Whisky in 1988, and he experienced a lot of jobs of the whiskey making. And last year, he took the position of the chief blender, and now leading the Nikka's core part of blending. And I'm Emiko Kaji, who is managing the international business.
自己紹介。Bonjour, enchanté de vous rencontrer. Je m'appelle Hiromi. Je suis le chef mélodieux de Nikka. I'm not good at English, and of course I can't speak French. So today I speak Japanese and a little English. So I will leave the interpretation to Emiko. Please enjoy the new taste of Nikka. Merci.
But his French good? Good. So again, to Nikka Discovery. This is a series of limited editions highlighting the Nikka's various experiments in every making process. As you may remember, we released Nikka Discovery series for the first time last year. So these were a pair of single malt, the Yoichi non-peated and Miyakyo peated. So please raise your hand if you already tried last year's limited editions. Thank you very much. So last year, we focused on the diversity of ingredients. So this year, we are going to highlight the variety of yeast and the fermentation process. And also, Nikka Discovery will continue until next year, before we celebrate the 90th anniversary in 2024. So before we talking about the Nikka Discovery, let's review the basic information of our 2 distilleries. This is a map of Japan. I think some of you may have been to Japan. So who been to Japan? Okay. Thank you. So this is a map, and this is Tokyo, where we are based. And we have 2 whiskey distilleries, first in Yoichi in Hokkaido Island. So this distillery was established in 1934 when Nikka Whisky was founded. And we have another distillery built in 1969 called the Miyagi-kyo Distillery. So it is located in the north of the main island, Honshu. So these are pictures of two distilleries. So Yoichi is covered by snow in winter. It's very cold and even very cool in summer as well. And it is located near the ocean. So cool climate allows slow maturation. And during the maturation, the sea breeze from the coast delivers some blinding hint into the whiskey. On the contrary, the second distillery, Miyagi-kyo, is located in the mountain and at the junction of the two clean rivers. And each distillery have very different pot stills. So biggest feature of the two distillery is its different distillation. So everything is designed to make a complete contrast. For example, Yoichi's pot still are very short and small, with straight neck and descending line arm. And the pot still are heated by direct coal fire at high temperature, so that gives by some toasting hint. And in this kind of pot still, the flavoring compounds in the vapor easily go up and transfer to the condenser. As a result, the new make becomes very rich and bold. But on the other hand, Miyagi-kyo pot still are much taller, larger, and with bulge neck, and with ascending line arm. So in this kind of pot still, a lot of reflux happen. So in this pot still, the vapor will redirect and fall into the pot still, and only lighter compounds will be transferred to the condenser. So as a result, new make of Miyagi-kyo becomes very light, fruity. So this is, I think this is the advantage of Nikka Whisky, because we have two distilleries with totally different whiskey making process. And the maturation is occur in the different terroir. So everything is very different from each other. So as I explained, we are a lot of diversing factors, and we are doing continuous experiments in every process, such as different peat levels, yeast cultures, and fermentation periods, and distillation methods, and cask types, and aging conditions. And those diversity factors result in a wide variety of whiskeys. So last year's Nikka Discovery 2021 focused on the diversity of ingredients within the distillery. So we are making whiskey with malt at different TB2 level, from non-peated, medium peated, and heavily peated, but up to around 50 ppm. And every peat level is used for both Yoichi and Miyagi-kyo. So last year we released Yoichi non-peated, which was very surprising. But because when it comes to Yoichi, people always remind something very peaty. But last year's bottling was totally different. So we tried to overturn that preconceived image of the Yoichi and also Miyagi-kyo. So Miyagi-kyo is considered very fruity, light, but Miyagi-kyo peated was very rich and a bit heavy, but still very matured, very balanced. And this year, Nikka Discoveries 2022 focuses on the unique aromas generated through fermentation. So we are using many different types of yeast strains. So according to our craftsman, roughly 10 yeast cultures are regularly used, frequently used for the regular production. However, we have hundreds of yeast cultures in-house, and we are cultivating and making with different whiskey with distinctive aromas. This is why we came up with the idea to release Nikka Discovery 2022. So there is the culture collection, which is called NDCC. So NDCC means
Nikka Distilleries Culture Collection.
so that is NDCC. So as I mentioned, we have hundreds of the yeast cultures collected over years, and we are doing continuous experiments to widen the variety of whiskey. So this is a core work by different divisions. So R&D team is responsible for to collect new cultures and cultivate them, and suggest blenders to try something new. And hundreds of yeast cultures are screened and tested. And some will proceed to the laboratory tests and the pilot plant and the small batch production to try different whiskey making. And the blenders, the job is evaluate new make or whiskey being matured at every process constantly to see how they will change and how it will become bigger, better, or not so good. And the distilleries, Plasma at the distillery is doing a lot of experiments according to the instruction by R&D team and the blenders. I think some distilleries are using only quite few yeast cultures, but in Japan, we do not exchange casks with our competitors, so we need to have a variety in-house. So that's why we are making whiskey with different yeast cultures to have many different whiskeys for complex blending. So thank you for your patience. So it's time to start flight testing. So first pair is Yoichi sample 1 and 2. So these are very special whiskeys arranged by Ozaki-san and other blenders only for this masterclass. So these are particular sample batch so using a normal yeast and different yeast, something very fruity. So from now on, Ozaki-san will lead the testing.
Yes, please try to taste Yoichi sample number 1. Left side.
先にいいですか? So, sorry. Before we do testing, let me explain. So every whiskey from every finished product from Nikka is always blend of whiskey from different casks. But this is a single batch. So in this case, Yoichi number 1 is from the refilled casks. So it is which is originally made from American oak, but second fill or third fill. And the Mienkyo is from the recharred casks.
Sample number 1 is normal type of Yoichi distilleries, and this sample is light peat malt. Note is malt sweetness and richness with moderate peaty. Normally, single malt Yoichi blend is based on light peat, like this number 1 and others. So, with moderated amount to give it a Yoichi character.
I think you may find a lot of similarity to the Yoichi non-age in this whiskey.
Taste is so sweet and soft and richness, malty and peaty. コクってなんていうの
Rich.
Rich.
So these samples are non-chill filtered bottled at 46 ABV. Maybe we can try number 2 as well to compare.
2番に行きますか。私からでいいですか。Next, please try Yoichi malt number 2. This is produced with a different yeast and is a mild fruity type. This malt is a non-peat malt. Smell is sweet and malty and mildly fruity. But taste is so full and richness.
This reminds me of the last year's Yoichi non-peated. If you compare two expressions side by side, you can feel the different aroma.
So sample number 1 is 2013, so about 9 years old. And sample number 2 is 2012, so about 10 years ago.
Almost same years old. Okay, so now you can experience the two different single malt using different yeast strains. So let's do the same thing with Miyagi-kyo. So again, this Miyagi-kyo is a single batch from richer casks, and the number 2 is also from richer cask.
酵母の違いによる作り分けを感じてください。
So please feel the difference generated by the different yeast cultures.
Yes, next is Miyagi-kyo malt. Please try to taste Miyagi-kyo number 1 sample number 1. Miyagi-kyo sample number 1 is normal type, and this is light peat malt too. Smell is floral and smooth and soft. This is cleaner than Yoichi malt.
feel the normal one is softer, and the number 2 is still it's a bit sharp on the palate.
Number 2で言っていいのかな Number 2で言っていい
エステルの方が下にちょっとピリつくな。
宮城sample number 2 is the sweetness of Esther is beautifully perceived. Usually, we single malt Miyagi-kyo is assembled from based on this malt, and with a well-balanced blend of sherry cask malt and new cask malt and more.
So do you find any difference? So between aroma? So we already tasted 4 expressions using from 2 different single malts and also using different yeast strains. So next step is blending to make a formula. So this is our blender's approach to create a formula, the product. So before their work, we have a lot of discussions between the marketing side like me and the blenders. So sometimes we argue. And also once we come to agreement on the particular concept, our blenders will picture an ideal taste profile in their mind. Then, as I mentioned, we have a lot of different whiskey in-house. So our blenders select the appropriate batches and sub-blends to create a formula. So let me explain the difference between the batch and the sub-blend. The batch is several casks made from the same ingredients and distilled fermented with the same yeast and same distillation method and matured in same casks and aged in same place for the same period. This is so-called batch. On the other hand, the blend, sub-blend, is the blend of several different batches. For example, we have Yoichi heavily peated or Yoichi sherry. These are a blend of the similar type of batches. And our blenders use both batches and sub-blends. And they will repeat blending to achieve the aimed taste profile. Sometimes they will struggle to achieve, to realize their ideal taste. It takes long, and we do a lot of tasting together to make it perfect. I think that the Nikka's discovery, and also along with the other expressions, are fruit of our diversity of whiskey in-house and also the blending skill.
Every year, our blender takes sample of main lot from cask directly and at each distillery, about 200 to 500 lot, totally about 1,000 lot. And we test them to check how each malt aging. So, and with this in mind, we try to assemble recipe to create product that suit the concept.
Yeah, because every whiskey is matured and become older year over. So our blenders have to update their database to have a right tasting and the right blending. It is a huge job. So in maybe July and June and July, blenders are so busy because as he mentioned, they have to collect all samples from different batches and different distilleries, and also evaluate all whiskey, and to update their database. That is a huge job. So this is how Nikka blenders are doing. So this is Nikka blenders. So we have currently 6 blenders, and today we have Ozaki-san here, and he is Watanuki. He is in charge of the Yoichi aromatic yeast, and he is Watanabe, who is in charge of Miyagi-kyo aromatic yeast. He is over there. So can you say some few words?
声が聞こえないよ。
Hi, Jumape Kentaro Watanabe. It's hard to say, so you can call me Ken. I'm in charge of the Miyagi-kyo aromatic yeast. I paid tremendous attention to balancing the aroma, like apricot, with the delicate aroma inherent in Miyagi-kyo. I would be happy if you enjoy this. Thank you.
So our blenders are so proud to release Nikka's aromatic yeast because the challenges of their senior 20 years ago are now seeing the light of the day as aromatic yeast. So let's try the 2 new expressions together. So Nikka Discovery aromatic yeast, they are using experiment batches, which Nikka blender did not appreciate at first, but later re-evaluated as they matured over years. And these are made by artisanal blending to balance the unique aromas and the authentic style of each distillery, as Ken mentioned.
20年以上前に先輩方が仕込んで面白いキャラクターの原酒を作ろうと思って仕込んでたんですけれども、できた当時はちょっとキャラクターが強すぎて使いにくいなということで、すぐ使い道を決めずにずっと長い間、熟成をさせてで、キャラクターを見てみると割と馴染んでですね、キャラクターが強くすぎず馴染んで使いやすくなったということで今回使いうことにしました。
So when the blenders found the new make and the whiskey during the young, while they were young, so they were so too distinctive, even too aromatic, not easy to handle. Then they have been abandoned in the warehouse without being used. But later they smell again and taste it again. They blenders found that they are becoming bigger, beautiful, and tasty, and less difficult to blend. That's why we decided to use them to make something very unique. Now, these are pictures of the labels. Thank you. So let's try the 2 expressions. So Yoichi aromatic yeast is non-chill filtered and bottled at 48 ABV. This is a blend of whiskey from different casks. So the refill cask and the recharge cask are a lot of influence. And it also has a little influence of the ex-sherry and also remade casks. So please try Yoichi aromatic yeast first. Sorry, it is my fault. So on your tasting mat, you will find the Yoichi, but Miyagi-kyo image, but side by side. But please remember that on your left side is all Yoichi. And the right side, oh, Miyagi, sorry for the confusion that caused. I didn't recognize that until the last minute, sorry.
Left side, yoichi malt ね。Single malt yoichi aromatic is a fresh fruity note present along with malt sweetness and pineapple, banana, and pear-like aroma. And peaty richness, typical of yoichi, can be detected at the back. Aftertaste is spicy and marmalade-like bitter sweetness, along with a fruity note.
So,
ごめんなさい。少し加水していただければ
Yeah.
香りが、はい。
so please add a drop of water so that it opens. So you may find some pipette if you find it. So please break up. See you. Did you add water like our blenders? It's not. It might not easy to break. Sorry. Okay. Maybe. Okay. Did you make it? Some of you may ask that what kind of yeast it is used. So, although it has some ginjo flavor, it is not made from sake yeast. It is distillery yeast, but yeast that generates the aroma something like ginjo. So it is not from sake yeast. Okay, so in the meantime, so Miyagi-Kyo single malt aromatic yeast is also non-chill filtered, but bottled at 47 ABV. So Yoichi is 48, and Miyagi-Kyo is 47. So we did not stick to the same ABV because we chose the best ABV to best describe, enhance the flavor of each expression. And the Miyagi-Kyo single malt aromatic yeast is a blend of whiskeys from ex-sherry and refilled, recharred, which has a lot of influence, and also little whiskey from New American oak, and also remade casks.
Single malt Miyagi-Kyo aromatic yeast is the mild oaky aroma is harmonized with richness of the malt, and with ripe apricot and or peach like dark fruity sweetness, and deep fruitiness continue in the aftertaste, balanced by good peatiness.
I think it has very fruity and charming aroma. So also Miyagyo is basically fruity, but this fruitiness is something different. So like fresh fruit rather than the dried fruit.
Normally, we don't use heavily repeated malt in single malt Miyagi-kyo, but we challenge by daring to use a small malt amount of heavy repeated malt. So elegance typical of Miyagi-kyo, and its rich fruity aroma could be harmonized in the back, in good balance.
So now you already tried the two new expressions. Normally, the master class should end at this point, but we have brought two extra whiskeys. They are the key malt of each aromatic yeast. But we decided to taste those whiskey at the end because they are too flavorful, too distinctive. But to be honest, not so delicious when it is tasted on its own. So please try Yoichi Miyagyo number 3. So Yoichi number 3 is non-chill filtered, bottled at 46 ABV. This is the batch from recharred casks. But it is an experimental batch. Some had remnants of the Ginjo sake. And the Miyagyo number 3 is also non-chill filtered and 46 ABV and from recharred casks. They are the key malt for the aromatic yeast. Please try, but be careful. It's too flavorful. So I think you should keep the same healthy notes before going out this room. So.
Yoichi sample number 3 is very, very fruity, estery, fruity, flowery, too rich ester. Miyagi-kyo samples number 3 is too ripe apricot peach.
Maybe you will find it something like artificial, but this is natural flavor aroma generated by the particular yeast. But it is quite rare that whiskey has such aroma like a peach and apricot.
余市らしさとか宮城らしさを壊さずにこのキャラクターの強い原酒をどの程度使うかっていうところのバランスが非常に難しかったです。
So challenges for the blenders were how they can retain the authentic style and how to integrate the unique aroma of this particular whiskey into its authentic style. So I got some comments from the bartender who actually blended. So as I mentioned, this is Watanuki. So he said that sample number 1 was too distinctive and had been rather abandoned. But later, the flavor improved after the maturation. And Watanuki took great care to enhance only good aromas. And this is Ken over there. So number 3, it's quite very rare batch, and we do not produce anymore. It's quite rare remaining small batches. So integrating peach aroma with Miyagi-kyo style was challenging. So he had to think outside the box. I think they are some masterpiece of our blenders, and they took a lot of jobs to finalize those expressions. So I hope you enjoy this experience. So may I ask, what is your which do you prefer? Because each whiskey is very unique. So aromatic yeast. So please let me know if you prefer Yoichi aromatic yeast. Okay. So please raise your hand if you prefer Miyagikyo aromatic yeast. So many people like the congratulations for Ken. So. So we are now serving Yoichi non-aged statements at the Nikka stand downstairs. So please come and see us at the Nikka stand to discover and Yoichi Miyagikyo. So they have beautiful contrast, and also it has diversity within each distillery. And what's next? As I mentioned, Nikka Discovery will continue next year, and the development of this Nikka Discovery 2023 already started. The liquid is almost finished, and now we are working on the design. So detail will be announced maybe in several months. So please look forward to it. So his name is Hiromi Ozaki, but you can remember Mr. Harry Ozaki. Okay.
Just a moment, please. Let my magic make it delicious next year's our new taste. Look forward to it. JR2? Okay. JR2.
So he will at the Nikka stand with this style. So please come to us, and if you want to take a picture with Mr. Harry, so please enjoy. So thank you very much for your time. So I hope you enjoyed a lot of tasting. So thank you very much.
Merci.
Maybe if you have some question, maybe we can afford maybe 5 minutes, something.
Alors, est-ce que quelqu'un a des questions, qui veut poser en anglais ou qui veut poser en français et je traduis?
Thank you very much for this very nice masterclass. I didn't quite well understand how you select the aromatic yeast. How did you? I mean, where did you said it's from sake, or I didn't.
Sorry.
The yeast,
Yeast.
the aromatic yeast. Where does it come from? How do you select that kind of yeast?
Because we have a lot of yeast cultures in-house. So every year we have a lot of samples in the laboratory, and we tried a lot of different whiskey to create a Nikka Discovery. So by chance, we have a very unique whiskey with sake aroma. That's why we thought it was very interesting for the whiskey lovers to try something very different.
So this is this whiskey from sake aroma that you use the corresponding yeast for.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a part of these laboratory tests or pilot plant trials. So we have a lot of yeast cultures in-house, and we are making many whiskeys at a different scale using different aroma. And you have huge sample. From time to time, they try evaluate whiskey. And when we started the development of the Nikka Discovery 2022, we decided to focus on the aroma. then they blend the remain of those unique aroma.
Thank you very much.
I hope I understand.
Est-ce que quelqu'un d'autre a une question? Anglais, français Attends, j'ai vu une main se lever? Non, je suis folle? Bon, moi je suis folle. Pas de questions? C'est votre dernière chance. Hein. Les Master Blenders de Nikka viennent rarement en France. Donc même si vous avez des questions concernant les whisky process, etc., c'est vraiment intéressant de leur demander à eux parce que c'est vraiment eux qui sont le plus proches du produit. Et c'est une grande chance de les avoir avec nous aujourd'hui. Donc si vous avez des questions, quelque chose que vous n'avez pas compris, vraiment n'hésitez pas. Non? Toujours personne? Ah, vous loupez votre chance. Hein. Ah.
Ouais. Donc la question est très simple, c'est au niveau de Yoshi et au niveau donc de Miyagikyo. Voilà, j'ai du mal à le prononcer. Toutes mes excuses. Je voulais savoir à partir de quelle année ont été créés les alambics.
He's asking about when were the pot still created at Miyagikyo and Yoichi.
So 1号機が1号ポットスチルは70年代。
できたのか、
今のこれってできたので1号機は34年36年でその後
部分的に変えたりもしているのでちょっといいのか
Vous avez posé une colle.
私も知らないな。
So Yoichi was built in 1934 and we started distillation from 2036 but they are not the first one but I think they were made in 40s early 40s and the Miyagi pot still was made at the same time of the distillery was built. It was in 1969 but we have 8 pot still. 4 were made in 1969 and the other 4 were made in the mid-70s after the market growth. So we will at the Nikka stand, so please come to see us and enjoy more expression from Nikka. So thank you very much.
Thank you.